Riders have been obsessed with Japanese naked bikes forever, and it's not some new trend that popped up because of the internet. They are cheaper and better than Harleys. The 80s and 90s are gone after all, and you no longer need to impress anyone with your pair of wheels. Everyone nowadays is just after having fun, and the Japanese models are perfect for that. It's been a thing for decades. Today, I'm breaking down 20 almost perfect Japanese naked bikes based on what actual riders are saying in 2025, and you'll see exactly why people are emptying their bank accounts for these machines. I'm saying almost perfect because, come on, nothing's genuinely flawless, right? I've always loved the Japanese concept of wabi-sabi, that you should find beauty in imperfection. And honestly, you can't possibly stay depressed when you're twisting the throttle on one of these naked bikes. Take into account the mix of responsive handling and usable power. After riding one of these things, returning to a car feels like hell. So, before I jump into number 20, remember when we all thought we had to choose between performance and not breaking our backs? Or that reliability meant boring rides? Yeah, those days are gone. Stick around. By the end of this video, you'll understand why these Japanese naked bikes give you the most bang for your buck on the market today. Coming in at number 20 is the Suzuki GSX-S125. Look, I know what you're thinking. A 125cc bike? Seriously? But this little ripper proves that displacement isn't everything. It's packing a 125cc single with about 15 horses, which doesn't sound like much. It is a little bit heavier on the pocket than a MacBook Pro of the latest generation, except it'll improve your life instead of ruining it with too much screen time. The number 19 spot goes to the Yamaha XSR-125, two-wheeled Instagram bait. Yamaha took their MT-125 platform and dressed it up in gorgeous retro clothes. The 125cc thumper puts out roughly the same power as the Suzuki. Still, it's wrapped in a package, and random people in parking lots asked to take photos of it. My buddy Jake bought one last year, and the dude can't fill up gas without someone discussing it. You won't win any drag races, but you'll win some cool style points, and sometimes that's what matters. At number 18, we've got the Yamaha MT-125, which is what would happen if that one aggressive friend you have who's always starting bar fights came back as a 125cc motorcycle. This thing looks mental with its angry transformer face. Its sharp lines work perfectly, and the design makes it look way more serious than the engine size suggests it could be. The standout feature? It comes with a TFT dash straight from bigger bikes. When I first saw this, I really asked myself, since when do learner bikes get fancy displays? Times are changing, and thank God for that. Number 17 is the Honda CB150F, the motorcycle equivalent of that reliable friend who always shows up when you need help moving. Not the most exciting person at the party, but the one you need. Honda's 150cc single is about as bulletproof as engines come. I follow a dude in Florida on Instagram who's clocked over 60,000 miles on his, and the thing still starts the first kick. I only had to change the oil and tires. That's it. That's Honda's engineering for you. Is it sexy? Nope. Will it still be running when cockroaches inherit the earth? Absolutely. The 16th spot belongs to the Kawasaki 250, like the more minor, approachable brother of the Z family who still somehow manages to look like he could beat you up. The 249cc parallel twin is a gem that gives you 31 horses to play with. It's that sweet spot where you have enough power to have proper fun, but not enough to get into serious trouble. I love that Kawasaki didn't water down the styling because it's a smaller bike. It has the same aggressive Z family DNA in a more manageable package. It's like getting a tiger cub instead of a full-grown tiger. It's still cool, but it's just less likely to eat you. The Yamaha MT-03 breaks into the top 15, which might be the perfect motorcycle for people with commitment issues. Not ready for a 600cc plus bike, but bored with the 125s? That's your sweet spot. The 321cc parallel twin pumps out 43 horses of pure fun. It's got enough grunt to safely merge onto highways without that "am I going to die here" feeling that comes with smaller bikes. My friend Sarah did the most Sarah thing ever. She traded her MT-03 for an MT-09 and missed the little bike so much that she bought another one 6 months later. Now she has both. Sometimes you just want something you can throw around without feeling like you're wrestling a bear, she told me. I couldn't have said it better myself. At number 14 is the Honda CB300R, which Honda calls a Neo Sports Cafe bike. and I call the bike that makes small displacement look expensive. This thing is gorgeous. Honda's usual conservative design approach was thrown out of the window. The 286cc single gives you 31 horsepower, but how the whole package comes together matters. Lucky number 13 goes to the Yamaha XSR-700, the bike for people who want vintage looks without vintage oil leaks. The 689cc CP2 parallel twin with that 270-degree crank is a masterpiece. It delivers 72 horsepower in a way that feels like a V-twin, but revs like something sportier. It's the best of both worlds. Coming in at number 12 is the Suzuki SV650, the cockroach of motorcycles, and I mean that as the highest compliment. You cannot kill these things. The 645cc V-twin is motorcycling's best kept secret. It delivers 74 horsepower with characters that parallel twins can only dream about. This perfect blend of low-end grunt and top-end rush makes it ideal for everything. I swear every serious rider I know has had an SV650 at some point. The Kawasaki Z650 is missing our top 10, the bike equivalent of that friend who's good at everything but doesn't brag about it. A humble 11 here. The 649cc parallel twin produces 67 horsepower of drama-free power. Its linear, predictable delivery makes it perfect for riders at any level. Newbies won't get scared and experts won't get bored. Stop, wait a second. These Japanese manufacturers have mastered something complicated. You can't just build bikes that are good on paper and things to prove in the real world. And that's nothing, trust me. The stakes keep getting higher and higher for the following 10 Japanese naked motorcycles. I really bet you can feel the tension in front of the TV. It makes me wonder why each brand's approach is so different, but at the same time, still the same. Honda's over there being all precise, Kawasaki equals madness, and Suzuki is the real deal for the price tag. But you know what's similar for all of them? The love of riding that we all share. Let's be honest, we wouldn't care about branding if it wasn't something to brag about. We all love the idea of riding the best things ever with our friends, but, you know, measuring content never fails to be fun. Grab what you're drinking, pour more if you want, and settle in. We're going to see what makes these top 10 Japanese naked bikes so special that you can't help but hop on Google after the video to see if there's any for sale near you. The Kawasaki Z400 cracks into our top 10, proof that 400cc is the new 600cc for real-world fun. The 399cc parallel twin churns out 44 horses of pure entertainment. This free-revving nature makes you want to wring its neck on every straight, then brake late and throw it into corners with abandon. I was up in the canyons a few weeks back and saw this dude on a Z400 schooling his buddies on 600 and 1000cc sport bikes. When they stopped and he said, "It's not about the horsepower, it's about not having to slow down as much." Mic drop moment. The number 9 spot belongs to the Honda CB500F, the bike that Honda engineers probably created while asking, how perfect can we make a naked middleweight? The 471cc parallel twin delivers 47 horsepower in that uniquely Honda way. Smooth, refined, and utterly predictable. But don't mistake predictable for boring. It's predictable, like your favorite song, and you never skip it. At number 8, we've got the Honda CB650R, the last middleweight inline 4s in a world gone mad for twins and triples. That 649cc inline 4 is special. It has 94 horsepower and builds to an exhilarating top-end rush past 8,000 RPM. It's like having a sports bike engine in a comfortable package, giving you that glorious 4-cylinder scream that's become endangered. I remember one internet story where somebody traded his MT-07 for one of these Hondas last year. The user admitted that he missed his MT's torque, but he forgot everything when he hit 9,000 RPM on the Honda, if you can imagine that. Anyways, lucky number 7 goes to the Suzuki GSX-S125, the bike that answered the question, what if we made a parallel twin that doesn't feel like a parallel twin? The 776cc engine with its 270-degree firing order produces 83 horsepower of pure character. Suzuki made a parallel twin feel like a V-twin, with a rumbling, torquey nature that makes every ride unique. The number 6 spot belongs to the Kawasaki Z650 RS, the bike for people who want vintage calm without vintage headaches. The 649cc parallel twin is the same as in the Z650, but wrapped in bodywork that looks straight from the 70s. It's like someone took a classic Z1 and gave it modern brakes, reliability, and electronics. The Kawasaki Z900 SC breaks into our top 5, a bike that makes you question why anyone needs a leader class machine. The dual 300mm front discs are gripped by monoblock Brembo M4.32 calibers, the same hardware found on many premium sport bikes. Its sophisticated traction control system offers 3 intervention levels, while the power modes let you tailor the engine response. The 948cc inline-4 cranks out 124 horsepower of arm-stretching acceleration. But unlike some high-strung engines, this thing pulls from practically idle. You're never in the wrong gear on a Z900. Just missing our podium at number 4 is the Honda CB750 Hornet, a bike that proves Honda can do character when they want to. The SFF BP suspension separates damping and spring functions between the 2 fork legs for superior control that works with the ride-by-wire throttle to offer 4 distinct power maps. At just 190 kilograms with a low 795mm seat height, the Hornet achieves a power-to-weight ratio that rivals much larger bikes. The 755cc parallel twin delivers 91 horsepower with a bike more reliable than your best friend. It has character and it deserves respect. The bronze medal goes to the Yamaha MT-09, the bike that forever changed the middleweight naked game. The 890cc triple produces 117 horsepower of barely controlled chaos, with a remarkable sound. That comes due to the use of an uneven firing interval. The frame weighs just 14 pounds, making this bike a featherweight with its 417-pound wet weight. The silver medal belongs to the absolutely bonkers Kawasaki ZH2. This bike asks, what if we took a perfectly good Z1000 and strapped a supercharger to it? The 998cc supercharged inline-4 produces a ridiculous 197 horsepower. Its acceleration makes you question your life choices and check if your organs are still in the right place. And it's balanced due to the centrifugal design spinning at up to 130,000 RPM to force almost double the amount of pressure into the combustion chambers. And our gold medal, the almost perfect Japanese naked bike for 2025, is the Suzuki GSX-S125. This thing is the complete package. The 999cc inline-4 from the legendary K5 GSX R1000 pumps out 150 horsepower of perfectly usable performance. Unlike sports bikes, which you must rev to the moon, this thing pulls hard from 2,500 RPM, making real-world riding an absolute joy. Is it perfect? Nah, the throttle can be a bit snatchy in the most aggressive mode, and the seat feels like it was designed by someone who hates human butts after about 2 hours. But these are tiny imperfections in what's otherwise a masterpiece of motorcycle engineering. Most importantly, the chassis engineering has some nice tweaks. A rigid aluminum frame paired with fully adjustable KYB suspension front and rear comes in, and getting through corners becomes brilliant. For $11,499, you get everything you could want on a motorcycle. Suzuki might not always be the flashiest brand, but they nail it when they get it right. You've seen all 20 of these almost perfect Japanese naked bikes. They are becoming increasingly popular. Remember the question I asked you at the beginning about getting thrills without backbreaking? Now you know the answer. Japanese naked bikes deliver precisely just that. Let me know which of these bikes caught your eye. Did I get the rankings right, or would you shuffle the deck? Leave a comment if you found our video helpful, or hit that subscribe button if you don't want to miss our upcoming videos on bikes. Until next time, enjoy the ride.